Hey folks, and welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium for the 23rd of October, hardly August 2024. Today we're just going to run through a few different things, but before we do that, I just want to show you this. I've created a new category called trades. We have alerts, which is like the channel that we've had for a while, where people just kind of like post trading ideas and why and whatnot. This is kind of open for everyone. And then I have this one here, and this is trades, and these are the trades that I'm taking, that I'm posting in the room. And most of these, or some of them, are taken via like the live streams, when I'm just kind of looking at the charts in the morning. It's called a live stream because essentially it's me live, because I can't do me in the past or the present. And it's just me kind of recording the stuff as I'm doing it, and I'm trying to speak out loud. The last live stream, I accidentally recorded the music I was listening to, which resulted in it not being able to be uploaded in in YouTube, because they said that there was a copyright infringement. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but besides that, I've made it available. You guys can take a look. I can see that some of you have had a look at it, and I hope it's inspirational in some way, shape, or form. But let's head over to the charts and see what's cooking. So what I'm looking at is, actually, there's a trade, this one here. And this, I just want to talk about this particular trade because and why I think it's interesting. First of all, the reason I thought I'd take a buy is because we had a zone. It was very clearly marked off here. Let's use this tool here, a bit easier. Right here, yeah. Price went through it, but we did not manage to close below. The zone is gone, so prices will go to at least this low or this low. Okay, because then we have the buy zone, which is down here, and this is the demand. So, I mean, this plate of pancakes is gone, but we saw a huge reaction, and we moved to the other side of this little spot here. But when prices went away and came back, they did not manage to violate this low just here. Okay, so that's telling me that we saw enough of an influx of buyers here that we could maybe see prices move to a structure at the opposing side of the market, of which we have something right here. Okay, that's probably what I would refer to there. But on the 1 hour chart, it becomes pretty clear, and the reason I think that this is interesting is because of two things. We have a low, and prices left. Let's just take the major swing from here to here. Then they went up. Okay, so that qualifies this low as a low, a proper low. And then when prices went down, we went below that. Okay, what does that mean? Well, that means that we really found, we seek liquidity, or price seek liquidity. And then prices went from here all the way up to here, moving above. Well, the first one did this one, second one did this one. Okay, and so that gives me a lot of confidence in buying here, because we had such a big release just here. And so the trade will look something like this. I'll put the stop is kind of just below this zone here, and then a target would be the highs just here, so the high of yesterday. And so that's what I'm going to target for today. We'll see if we come down here. If not, I'm going to shut all my positions off before the weekend. Have an 11-year-old who has a birthday party on Sunday, and I don't want to be concerned about trading. And so, yeah, so this is a pretty interesting one. And so one of the things I think is pretty important is when prices do that. If you have a zone, let's take this, where you have a zone where price goes down, it goes like this, prices go up, and when prices are able to come back below this low and go like this and then go like that, I mean, that gives this zone a lot of credit because of the reasons we just iterated. And so I want you to try and eyeball these, try and find some of these zones, because they normally work out to be pretty interesting trades. And if we look at some of these trades that worked, yeah, this is an interesting one. How we had a high, a low, a high, a high. Prices came down, and then we had a low, and then we had a high, a low, a high, a high. Prices came down, and then we had a low, a high, a high. Prices came down, and then we had a low, a high, a high. Prices came down, and then we had a low, a high, a high. Prices came down, distributed, and then we left. We had a nice reaction to this zone just here. The reason that this is interesting is because, I mean, prices moved above this. Okay, from here to here to here, we went down sideways, and then we left. Okay, and this is like the flip zone where prices flipped from being bullish to being bearish. Okay, so that gives this zone a lot of credit, because this zone here is responsible for prices trading below this low here, which was strong enough to drive prices to these highs. So again, it sounds like I'm kind of speaking kind of gibberish, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is that when zones are formed, they are only interesting to us if they were able to do something, to accomplish something. And I've said this, I mean, I'm guessing probably 1,000 times in the 12 years I've been doing this, and so it makes perfect sense to consider zones that do stuff like this, where you have a high, a low, price goes above that high, qualifying that we have bids down here. When prices come back and go below that, I mean, we're just picking up all of the bids in here, and this will typically catapult price higher. Okay, so just try and keep your eyes out for those, because they will make for some very pretty setups. Okay, so this is on the pound Kiwi. Let's just kind of slowly wriggle through some of these and see if we can find some other stuff. Yes, we have this as well. I like this because we are quite tall, and we are reaching these higher period highs, and we're not violating just yet. So what I'd like to see ideally is price to wriggle south from here. Okay, so what I want to see, if we try, as an alarm went off just a second. It was this one. Price is coming above here. Let me remove that. Let me kill that alarm. So what I want to see here is I want prices to do something. They're not doing anything yet, are they? They're just trading higher. We go low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, and then we're kind of messing around here, aren't we? We're taking a breather. But what I want to see is I want to see prices visit these highs here. I want them to not close above. I want them to, let me try and draw this scenario. I want them to do this. I want a wick that goes above, something like that. Then I want price to move down. I want it to start taking out some lows, some important lows like this one here. Okay, right here. Then I want to see it move sideways, have a poke higher, and then do this, and then move through here. And the moment it does this, maybe even moving below this, is the moment that we're looking to short. Why? Because prices went up to here. We found the liquidity available here. This typically results in prices moving south. We're trading below here. We're distributing below. We have one last attempt at exploring liquidity above this zone, above this price range, and then prices come down. That's telling us that we're going lower. Okay? And so, I mean, where would you get out of that trade? That's a really good question, because you're not earning money unless you're closing trades. You can get in as many trades as you want, but until the moment you click the close button or they hit their target, you're not earning any money. And so if we go to the daily chart and we consider this whole move here, we have to find some logical places where we could expect prices to go. And I can see already here that we have an area of demand just here, and we have a buy zone right here. This is the buy zone. So these two are linked together. We have demand zone, and here we have the buy zone. And why is this the buy zone? Well, when this area of demand was formed, and this area of demand is qualified because it's responsible for trading above this child supply. So let's do the back step. We go from here over, testing, testing, testing. See, we did not manage to trade below until prices came up to here. So there's something up here. The software found it nicely. Right here, we went up into it, and then we really traded quickly south, as you can see here. Okay, so this area of supply was tested, so the buy zone now becomes here for that zone. And then when prices left here, they were able to, in fact, consume this supply just here, as expected, because prices moved very, very deep into that plate of pancakes, so not a lot of pancakes left just there. Okay, so prices went above. We had troubles doing so, as you can see. You know, we have candles moving higher. This is a nice release candle, but then we had this one here, prices trying, failing, trying, failing, trying, failing. Okay, so what we can see, this candle and this candle, we only just managed to close outside of the range of the previous candle. This one closed out of the range of that one, this one closed out of the range of that one, but this one here failed. We did not manage to close above this candle's high. We actually closed within the range of the previous candle. So this is giving me the indication that we are running out of steam. And so what we're doing here is we are finding liquidity. And so, gosh, liquidity. So if we consider this, let's just draw an order book like here, from here to here. Okay, so this is the bottom of the book here, and this is the top of the book. Okay, it's more interest in selling up here than there is down here. There's going to be more selling up here. And as prices go down, actually let me try and do that a little bit more pretty. As prices go down, I don't know if that's pretty, straight lines I suppose. As prices go down, the interest to buy is going to dry up, and eventually no one's going to be looking to buy, to sell. The interest to sell is going down as prices go lower. And eventually you'll start to reach the other side of the book, like so, and then we'll see an increase in the bulls. Okay, so there'll be bearish liquidity below price. And what does that do? Well, so the sellers are met with the bids, and the bids will typically be strong enough in a situation like this one where they consume the offers coming in. So people are selling into a market that is much thicker down here than the incoming order flow into that zone. And what happens then? Well, then this liquidity here just eats up the selling pressure in here. All the liquidity coming in here is just simply absorbed by the liquidity in the zone. And then the scale tips. So you have like a scale like this, and then you have the bars are in control, and then eventually this goes up and this goes down. Okay, so it goes like this. Okay, and it just swings back and forth. I wish I could animate it for you all, but I really can't. I'll do it really quick, Spider-Man speed. So it goes back and forth like that. Okay, and we saw that here. So now the flows slowly move to the opposite side, where we have demand that is showing more strength. Okay, so we have the bids consuming the offers. Okay, we have people beginning to buy, so they're adding to the bids down here that's consuming the offers here, and prices slowly start to wriggle. And you can see the fact that we managed to, when this zone was formed, raise higher, and we didn't even come back to that. That's telling us that there's a lot of strength in buying from the buy zone. So there's going to be a lot of interest in buying here, in this zone just here. And as I mentioned the other day, buy zones and sell zones, they are always paired with demand and supply respectively. Okay, you'll always have, we have this one here, for example. So this one here we have a zone, and here we have the buy zone. Okay, because this is the deepest price, the deepest or the lowest price came to on its attempt to visit this area of demand. When you see something like that, that's telling us that we have bids in here, a lot of bids in here, and a whole lot of bids in here. Okay, depending on the structure, of course. Okay, so that's what we are looking at there. So what I want for this to do, I don't mind if this candle goes above. goes above, but I'd prefer that it close below. And if it doesn't, well, then I'll take this, I'll move it here, and I'll say, okay, did we manage to close below that? So I go from here, we go like that, close like that. That'd be great. You know, with maybe a pin bar went above. That would be great. What does that do? Well, that sets us up for some selling next week. And what you can do is you can do this as well on the weekly chart, where you look at this candle here. And so what we want here is we want prices to move above but close below this high. That's telling us again that we've tapped into some offers at the top, so the top of the book there. And so typically we'll have, for example, like a nice run. Let's say the week closed like that. Well, then I would expect some kind of a retracement. I would expect prices to go up next week and then maybe come down a little bit. There would be we're still on the weekly chart, we have a bullish bias because we managed to close above this week's. But if we manage to have another week that look like this, and then we had something like that, and that would be great. Then we know that this week we're likely headed lower. Okay, so we are looking on the daily chart, and we're getting close to these highs, so there is resistance. And so what we need prices to respect this high just here, eventually this high just here. So a nice push above this high, or this line here, which is this high, and then a closed low would be very, very nice. And so we're just waiting for that pattern to evolve here. And once this happens, the moment that it happens, early hours of the first session following the next day, maybe the London session, then you start to see liquidity pick up and really kind of seek liquidity. And this is where the direction for that day begins, is defined. So we have to wait for that to happen. It still has not happened, so we're kind of waiting, sitting on our hands and waiting. It's also Friday. It's also kind of a bad day to be able to begin to open any trades. But yeah, that's what we have. Anyway, 17 minutes. I am going to leave it at that. Do you have any questions?